Cause I'll say the thing about the monk mode. Cause like, of course there are natural periods of isolation in your life, right? There are phases when you're gonna go into isolation that come about naturally, and there are gonna be periods when you want to be more social. Now, for me, I remember when I was out with you guys one night, and I saw this girl. I was just getting out of an isolation phase, and I remember I saw this girl. I thought she was kind of cute. So I was like, oh, I'm going to try and get her Instagram. I walked up to her, asked for her Instagram. She's like, oh, if you get me a drink, right? I remember Ray was like, oh, you shouldn't do it. And I was like, yeah, but I have the money. I was like, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, I'm just going to do it because I have the money. It's not going to break the bank for me. Ray was like, don't do it. And then we kind of went back and forth. Eventually, I didn't do it because like she went and got another friend and we walked away.
So Ray was right in the situation.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we were both right. In depending on how you, I had the money, it didn't really matter, and I wanted to get myself back into the social game. Because in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna buy the drink and then talk to her. That was what I was gonna do.
By having to pay for a conversation, having to pay for her attention.
Oh, I didn't see. The thing is, you know me long enough, EJ, to know that I'm the kind of person that whatever the other person is doing does not really matter to me. And I always have my own, like,
I operate the same way. Their intentions for me don't matter because their intentions won't be fulfilled as much as mine are.
Exactly.
You have to understand that. And when you get to that point where, okay, no matter what this person intends, it will not go their way because I know what I'm doing here.
They think they accomplished the goal. Right. Meanwhile, they don't know what I accomplished.
Somewhere in that mix of, okay, I'm going to take advantage of a sucker, shit.
I became the sucker.
I'll let you take that.
I've done that many times. Especially when I was in high school. You know how often I would make people think I was an idiot and then surprise them with some random shit and like, damn, you're actually really smart. And I was like, yeah, I pretend to be an idiot on purpose. I used to tell people that. Like back then I was a very Machiavellian kind of guy.
Right, but that works to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Pretending.
Yeah.
If you keep pretending, you get surrounded by fools real quick.
Yeah. I don't want to be surrounded by fools.
Right, but you grow out of that behavior.
Yeah.
My oldest sister used to have a thing where she loved lying. She thought it was such a thrill to be able to lie, manipulate situations. She only had that because she was beautiful. And at a certain point, beauty only rocks so long. And once it doesn't rock anymore, you have no choice but to be truthful.
Yeah.
She became one of the most honest people you know.
But so like what ended up happening is Ray brought these people in, these random guys. And it was a guy and a group of other guys. Yes, it was.
See, you might remember the story correctly. I wasn't gonna say nothing.
You might have to come on camera.
Well, all I say is he brought in somebody and they said the single most emptiest phrase in the self-improvement space. They said to me, they were like, oh, focus on yourself, bro. Focus on yourself. I fucking hate that phrase. It means nothing.
Those fucking
right? Yeah. Because like whenever people focus on themselves, right? And I remember at the time I wasn't in a good space because the thing that motivated me to get into the stupid monk mode thing was self-esteem issues and ego. When I first used to do approach, I did not care. Like I told you, I was like very like exploratory. Like it did not matter. I would talk to anybody. I mean, you were there when I was doing it. When we were first doing it, I was very. I remember the joke you used to make was like hitting them with the geo thing, was just telling them whatever came to your mind. Like I used to get away with that shit, but then eventually, slowly over time, I started to care more. And then like I one night, I think it didn't go well for me, and I got like mad, and I was like, I gotta level up. I gotta focus on myself, right?
So then, you gotta hit a whole upgrade to your own personality.
So then I did that stupid. Don't worry, Ray. We're gonna finish soon. I did that stupid shit. It wasn't dumb because like during my period of isolation, I did learn some interesting things about myself and about how to go. But I will say at some point during that phase, the ache to go back and socialize with people came back, and I tried to ignore it. And because of that, that's when things started to fall apart.
You start to hurt yourself.
Yeah. So then anyways, I remember the guy said that shit to me. It got me so mad. And I was like, the focus on yourself thing is so dumb. Because the key to being a human, right, is humans are social animals. what the fuck are you focusing on yourself for? You're meant to be a social animal, right? And then the fact is,
there's a place for it, but it needs context.
Yeah, there's
a need for it.
I remember that
but people
Pokemon
take it
quote.
too far.
there is no self to begin with.
You remember that?
So like, what are
Pokemon
you
quote?
focusing on?
That Pokemon quote, it hurt itself in confusion. They
Yeah.
got a whole Pokemon
But,
game with this
No,
shit.
there's a need for it where you need to build, not not factor in
But
all
that's where
all
the-
these external, factors
But at that
and
point,
things.
when you realize it's
Yeah.
the case, you're no longer confused. You
Yeah.
could hurt yourself with confusion, just like Pokemon.
But that's what I'll say.
all
It's
this
like,
external stimuli,
Well,
what I'm
that's
saying?
the thing,
You
right?
Factor that out.
it's the natural.
Focus on
So
yourself.
when the natural phase for you to begin
Focus on
retreating
yourself,
inward
yeah.
happens, you let that happen,
Mhm.
right? And then when it's time for that phase to end, you let it end. If you try to resist, if you try to set a specific time frame,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do monk mode for 6 months. It's not gonna.
Even when you set monetary goals, to bring it back to the final
Yes,
point, and
yes.
to wrap it- even when you set monetary goals, you gotta understand that you're running to worship money.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because
This
that's
is not what you.
that
want
is
to
the
do.
best. Because that's the thing me and EJ were talking about. Because EJ recently did his monk mode for a little bit. And I remember the thing we talked about was
And now EJ talking about going to Vegas. You get to a point where you get the freedom.
yeah. So like me and him
Can't
were
be a
talking.
monk in Vegas. Can't be a
Me,
monk
you
in
can't.
Vegas.
Remember what I said to you?
too much going on.
Or I said to you, being a monk in the city. I was like, okay. So I was saying to him that even though I identify a lot with like monk philosophy, I was like, I started to realize that you can identify with the philosophy, but not try to embody it completely.
Don't let it
Because-
consume you.
Yeah, because I was like,
Oh, that's my boy.
oh shit. Yeah, because I was like, there's no way that you can be a monk in New York
Yeah.
City